Under the Health and Safety at Work Act, every employer must take care of anybody that may be affected by their activities. Risk assessment is required under the Management of Health and Safety at Work regulations. It must be suitable and sufficient. The law does not expect you to eliminate all risk, but you are required to protect people as far as is reasonably practicable. This means balancing the level of risk against the measures needed to control that risk in terms of money, time or difficulty. So if the actions required to reduce or eliminate the risk outweigh the level of risk, no action need be taken. The focus of the assessment will vary in relation to each service user's specific needs. The Health and Social Care Act relates to the needs of the service user. The criteria for care which should be addressed within each service user's risk assessment includes improving health and emotional well-being, quality of life, mobility and feelings of security, enabling increased choice and control over their own care, freedom from discrimination and harassment, maintaining personal dignity and respect, economic well-being and making a positive contribution.
So which one? Which one? That one.
There are 5 steps to carrying out a risk assessment. Identify the hazards. Decide who might be harmed and how. Evaluate the risks and decide on precautions. Record your findings and implement them. Review your assessment and update if necessary. The person undertaking a risk assessment does not have to have specific training or qualifications, but they must be legally competent. Legally competent in this context means having sufficient knowledge of home care practices and experience in carrying out support in the home. Up-to-date knowledge of the law and its practical application is also vital, and this programme can support your training by demonstrating examples of this within the home environment. The scope of the task and responsibilities will be detailed in the care plan and risk assessment and will vary for each service user. When working within a person's own home, the scope of the care package must be adhered to. Additional activities must not be undertaken if they are not part of the agreed tasks. The environment and equipment will vary in each location, and often the extent of the duties required will be dependent upon the time allocated for that service user.
No, don't touch those. Leave them alone.
Sorry.
No, put it back where it was. There.
Your organisation's policy should state each employee's responsibilities with regard to undertaking risk assessments, depending on their individual roles. Before support is given to any new service user, the risk assessment is carried out and suitable and sufficient controls are taken to reduce any risk. The time required to undertake the risk assessment will vary depending on the size of the property and the complexity of the service user's needs. There are 3 main factors to consider. Firstly, the environment. This includes things such as access, entrance steps, uneven icy pathways, steep stairs, lighting and temperature, floor coverings and surfaces, worn carpets, mats and rugs, fire, heater, smoke alarms, pets. Secondly, the human factors which relate directly to the service user and care workers. When undertaking an assessment, the service user will be asked a number of questions, and they may like a relative, health professional or friend to be present to help them. There will be questions about their health and the support required to maintain their quality of life. It is vital to find out if there is any other information that may support the assessment, such as hospital discharge information and assessments from other health professionals. The details of the next of kin, social worker, housing association or other interested parties must also be recorded, as they may need to be contacted for additional support for the service user if the scope of the care offered is not sufficient.
Okay.